Congo. This is their third fight together. It's Barry Smith who's been at Congo's side during the week. Ben joining things a little bit later in the piece. Congo looking to try and get onto the jab there early on. Firing it up, going to the head, down to the body.
Yeah, it needs to be, it can't become predictable with the jab. Congo, he's got to vary it, to vary the speed, vary the power. Doesn't want to let Esserman suddenly get the timing of that jab, because he's looking to loop that right hand over the top.
That was a decent lead left hand there from Esserman, Tash, wasn't it? He fights it up from low sometimes, and it kind of just bursts into the eye line, and Congo didn't pick it up.
Yeah, the thing with the jabs and exactly what Matt's saying is, you know, when you're at round 2, 3, 4, when you're calf fresh, you know, if you carry on doing it and it becomes predictable, he's going to come under with the shots that he was throwing, Esserman.
These two just revolving around each other in the centre of the ring at the minute. Congo trying to sneak that right hand in round the back of the guard. He was just short with it, then looked for the uppercut, but Esserman managed to block that one. The left hand got through there though from Congo. This is warming up nicely.
I think Congo's doing well with the jab. You know, he is mixing it up. Sometimes he's putting a single jab out, then he'll throw a feint, then he'll come in double jab. He'll hook off it. His left hand works good. He's not being predictable. He's not getting. He's not letting Esserman get the time of him.
He looked for a big right hand. Congo not that long ago set his feet and just whipped it up from low into the final minute of round 2, and in this second round, maybe just slightly in the first as well, but in the second round it's Congo who's looking more like the boss here. Having said that, Esserman just gets onto the front foot.
Well, I think he's just the busier of the two, isn't he, Congo? I think Esserman's probably a bit more patient.
I think a lot of Esserman's game plan is to wait and wait for him to slow down. Because you expect him to be there and to be throwing the bent arm shots, and he's letting Congo just lead, but his guard's nice and high.
Nice bit of work with a jab there from Esserman, through 4 of them in a row. Pursued Congo, numbers 3 and 4 did land. The closing seconds of round 2, this scheduled for 12.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
To lead and inspire with innovation means progressing through technology. With impeccable attention to detail, we can power ahead. Because future is an attitude. Audi, the official innovation partner of Sky Sports.
Set yourself free and join the millions already banking with Starling, the Which Best banking brand 2 years in a row.
Well, there's Chris Billam-Smith, Shane McGuigan on his left-hand side, Adam Azim away to his right as well. Adam Azim's dad and Ben Whittaker. Be great to see him back in the ring before too long. It's been a little bit stop-start for him since winning that silver medal at the Olympic Games, but he's got an awful lot to offer, and he'll be itching, I'm sure, for a return. Billam-Smith might be fighting for a world title next, maybe outdoor at Bournemouth Football Club. Who knows? So much going on in the cruiserweight division. And we'll see Richard Riakporhe shortly as well. So the viewer's verdict has Congo a couple of rounds up. After 2, I wouldn't argue with that. I thought the first was quite tight. I think the second was a fairly clear Congo round. In between rounds there, Tash, the Esserman corner led by Barrington Brown. Those two have been together for a really long time. We're asking him to jab more and stay away from the right hand of Congo.
Yeah, and the key word for me was they told him not to let him get comfortable, because he is comfortable now, just sticking the jab out, keeping him out. Every time he comes, he just steps a little bit back and tries to fire that backhand over the top. So you've got to do something a little bit different.
Nice jab.
Esserman steps in with a right hand, but it didn't really come close to landing, and Kongo is keeping it simple here. He's looked to try and establish that jab right from the very start of the fight. Esserman closes the gap a bit more effectively there, but then just kind of strangled that right hand a bit as he threw it. It looked slightly tight as he let it go, and Kongo saw it, just dips off to his left.
He's boxing well here, Kongo. There's a real sort of relaxed confidence to him. He's settled well into the fight, using the jab well, you know, mixing it up with feints. You know, sometimes lovely right hand over the top there. You know, there's a real sort of rhythm about his work now.
His own career, Kongo, has been a bit stop-start. When he left that GB squad, I remember seeing him at Miguel's in Brixton, and he was taking his time turning over. He was training with Isaac Chamberlain, Richard Riotford, John Harding at that point. He was in no particular rush. He's always backed his ability, but it took a while to get noticed. He teamed up with Dillian White, and then we started to see him on cards, but he wasn't somebody who anyone above him really wanted to fight. It was no surprise him and Michael McKinson ended in the ring with each other, because at that point on the British welterweight scene they were president and vice president of the much vaunted Who Needs Him club, and when you're that kind of a fighter, people aren't going to be forming a queue to get in with you. Someone looking to step in and throw the right hand there, didn't quite make full contact.
Well, I think they both tried the right hand at the same time, didn't they? I don't think either of them landed cleanly. You know, and after that then, you know, Kongo landed a nice lead left hook. You know, and he's happy to stand in the centre of the ring. You know, he hasn't really allowed Esserman, the shorter guy, to back him up too much. He's been good at holding his feet here, Kongo. When he has backed up, he's edged around. He hasn't been pushed back.
Okay, so let's head backstage. This is a key point in proceedings. Fighter getting those hands wrapped, those tools being readied for war. Michael Ofo will be doing the honours there, and Paul Smith keeping a very close eye on what is going on. And this is something that happens that people might not be aware of, Matt. You get those hands wrapped. This 2-inch soft bandage, 1-inch zinc oxide tape. There are rules about what you can and you cannot do, and he will be looking, Paul, for anything to complain about.
Yeah, he's hoping they do something wrong so he can complain, just to try and disrupt their preparation, cause a bit of anxiety.
Doesn't always work, though. We were talking about this earlier on when Mike Tyson boxed Michael Spinks. Spinks' manager complained about hand wrapping. We know what happened. Tyson steamed out and knocked Michael Spinks out in 91 seconds. So you don't really want to provoke that kind of a reaction, but it's all fun and games backstage at times in these closing minutes. Fighters are trying to lock in, get themselves into the zone, take themselves bit by bit into that place where they're ready for that ring walk, and that's exactly what these two have had to go through just a little bit earlier in the evening. Just signs towards the end of that third round, Tash, I felt that Esserman was just beginning to close the gap a bit more effectively. He wasn't landing anything particularly clean, but he was just getting his feet in a bit better.
Yeah, I think the first round what he did well is every time Kongo was throwing, he was returning with like uppercut hooks to the body, and he faded a little bit in the second and third. But this round he's come out, he's come positive, he's trying to close the gap down a little bit quicker, and he's putting the pressure on, which is what he has to do to get his better shot off, which is his bent arm shot.
Nice shot, just chopped that right hand, lovely, good lead left hook as well. Nice shot selection from Kongo here, and you know what, he's not wasting anything either. He's pretty economical, and even when he's being busy with the jab, he's not tense, he's nice and loose, he's just popping the shots out.
I think he's frustrating Esserman, if I'm honest.
Esserman will just stick to the plan. He dropped some early rounds against Sam Antwi, but in the second half of the fight, in this ring actually, on that Joyce Parker undercard back at the end of September, he took over and got it on the cards. And he's been saying all week that he will break Congo. This is still very, very early, a minute remaining in round number 4.
Nice double left hook there, just slipped inside, left hook to the body, left hook to the head, then switches the attack with a good right hook upstairs. There's that looping right hand from Esserman.
Esserman's just got to be a little bit smarter about his attacking. He's got to, make Congo throw when he doesn't want to. There's ways of doing that. Feint, drawing the shot out and going again.
Yeah, I think up to now, Esserman's allowed Congo just to be too comfortable in there. He boxes when he wants to, he rests when he wants to. He's kind of dictating the pace in there so far, Congo has.
But he won't be panicking here, Esserman, and nor will the corner. Closing seconds of the round. Jamie Carragher's been in and around Fight Week. Throughout the course of the week, he's backstage with Kyle.
Now, Jamie, we've seen you in the ring with Liam Beefy-Smith this week doing headers together. Have you spoke to him today at all before the fight?
I haven't spoken to him. We just saw him on the way in there, so I think he's just come in with his family and his coaches and the lads. So looks in good spirits.
Will it be the first time that someone from Liverpool is going to get a positive reaction here in Manchester tonight?
He might. I certainly won't. I can assure you of that. But no, I think Liam's mentioned in the build-up. It's not football. He's had some great wins here. So I think the crowd are quite receptive to him here, so hopefully that'll be the same again.
And what can we expect from it tonight? What's the prediction?
I think it'll be fireworks. I think there's no love lost, is there? We've seen that in the build-up. But I think you might start quicker. Maybe a little bit sharper, but I think as the rounds sort of get to sort of 7, 8, 9, I think Liam will come into his own, and then I'll just pick him at the end.
Second out, round 5.
Jamie Carragher there with Kyle. So into the 5th. Chris Congo in the white and red, Eko Esserman in the predominantly black shorts. Both of them had good amateur careers, as we know, both on that GB squad. I remember seeing Esserman get a brilliant win in WSB against a guy called Bogdan Celestiuk back in 2015, and that kind of, for a lot of people, it sort of put him on the map who follow that code of boxing. It's huge if you can win away from home against a fighter like that, and he was in with some other very high quality opposition at times. Roniel Iglesias of Cuba. So although he is nicknamed the Engine, he is not a basic fighter. There is some craft and some guile behind what he does, and he's a patient fighter as well, and he's proven that he can be a 12-round fighter. And here, just getting up close and trying to manhandle Congo on the inside a little bit.
I think that's what he needs to do more of. Keep it close, make it uncomfortable, make him work when he doesn't want to, because if your plan is to come on stronger, then you have to make him work out of his comfort zones earlier on.
We're in round 5 here, Matt, and we would probably say that through the first 4 that Congo is 4-0 up.
I go 3-1. I gave Esserman the first. I thought that right hand over the top, which landed on the chin, even though Congo took it well, I thought it was the best shot of the round, the most eye-catching. Up until that, I probably thought, I'd have leaned Congo's way, but I've certainly given Congo 2, 3 and 4. I think he's found a nice rhythm, nice groove. He's relaxed. He's busier. He's popping the jab out lovely. I think really now Esserman's got to start putting it on Congo a little bit more. He's just a little bit too comfortable in there, Congo. If I was in the corner of Esserman, I wouldn't like how comfortable Congo is. I'd want Esserman now to start really putting it on him.
I think we've seen a few times Congo use that uppercut, and he hasn't quite landed it. Eko's blocked it, but that time it just got through.
He did land a nice right hand, Esserman, though, about 20 seconds ago. Well delivered, just clipped the chin there of Congo, who, when they get on the inside like that, is more than happy to have that wrestle. He does want to keep it at distance, Tash, like you said, and do his work from there. But when they're right up close, I think he fancies himself that he's maybe the physically stronger of the two, and that he could take something out of Esserman when they're right tight like they are now. Okay, let's go to Andy. He's with Johnny Bairstow.
Johnny, great to see you here at ringside. How are you enjoying your night so far? It's been a change of scenery for you.
Absolutely, it's a change of scenery. Fantastic to be in an arena that's packed out. Obviously, a couple of years that we had without any fans in, and what an atmosphere it is.
Dare I ask you about the main event? Are you a neutral taking it all in, or have you got a favourite in the main one?
I want to get out of Manchester, so I'm going to stay a neutral, I reckon. No, look, I think we've seen over the last few days it's been rather interesting, a few bits said. I think people are going to come out firing, and it's quite obvious they both want to get each other out of there.
Frustrating time for you with the injury. I have to ask it, how's the recovery going? And English cricket as a whole, what a 12 months it's been.
Yeah, it's been good crack, hasn't it? For me, look, my ankle is what it is. It's such a freak thing that's happened, but we're on the road to recovery. I don't have a return date as yet. However, we're looking in the right direction.
We're looking forward to having you back, and enjoy your night.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, watching Johnny Bairstow back last summer was absolutely epic. It was incredibly entertaining, and Chris Congo just kicking off the round there with a nice 1-2, just chopping down with it. And again there, just flicking the punches up more from the waist. Esserman's trying to bring a little bit more heat here, I think, at the start of round 6. Wasn't a lot in round 5, I didn't feel, but again there as they get close, Congo quite quick just to wrap Esserman up.
Yeah, I mean, Esserman, I think, wants to force the pace here now, is to put it on Congo a little bit, but he's got to be careful not to reach with that jab, because Congo's very good at taking that little half step back and then chopping the right hand over the top. So he's looking to walk him onto that shot. But this is good pressure here from Esserman.
Yeah, the pressure's good. He's got to watch out for the uppercut that Congo's been trying, that got through in the last round. But it's not enough to just walk forward in a straight line with your hands up. He's got to do some. He's got to add a little bit of movement.
Well, the referee's called time out here, Howard Foster, and he's talking to him about the holding, and that's one thing that we picked up on, which is that when they get really tight and Congo is looking to just grab hold of Esserman, wrestle him a little bit, I think the reason for it is to tie him up first and foremost, but also I think he does fancy that he's the physically stronger of the two, and in the clinch he wants to show him.
Yeah, that's one of the first things you're taught. You know, if you're going to go in there with someone either who's stronger or throws a lot of punches, is to tie them up to stop them from, you know, getting a rhythm and getting on it.
Look for a big overhand right there, Esserman, and he's looking to march Congo down more in this 6th round now, and he does need to be educated about it, but maybe he feels that this is what he needs to do, that Congo's got respectable punching power, but there's nothing to be particularly intimidated by.
Good overhand.
Esserman just backing Congo up here. Congo tucking up. Esserman leaning in, trying to find a gap, looking for that right hand, just shutting down his own space a touch there.
Yeah, just got to be careful here not to smother his own work. Esserman, he needs a little room to get the shots off.
Congo's got his back to the ropes. He's already got nowhere to go. You don't need to lean on him to push him back to do that. Just give him a little half step back just to give yourself a little bit of space.
Congo just looking to try and catch Esserman on the way in there. Lined up a big right hand, didn't get through, and Congo isn't absolutely square to the ropes most of the time. That lead foot is keeping him relatively side on, which just makes it a bit easier for him to protect himself. Good right hand there from Esserman. That was a solid shot.
Yeah, good right hand there went through from Esserman.
This is where Esserman wants it. This is where he's comfortable. He knows he's got the engine to do that for the next 6 rounds. He doesn't want to be taking too many, stepping back too much to give Congo too much space. That was a good round.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltero.
Excellent, Marvin. Is this any better?
Lovely.
This photograph gives me a good look at the back of your eye.
Cheese!
And this is one of over 100 ways we can check your eyes. So, Marvin, your eyes are healthy and your new prescription is good to go.
like it.
Book a thorough eye test that's simply explained and get free 100-day returns guarantee and free lifetime servicing at Vision Express.
This is a Congo corner.
Yeah, good right hand there from Esserman, and then came in, rolled underneath as well with the momentum of the shot.
So the halfway stage here, they're scheduled for 12. Congo probably in the lead at halfway, but maybe not by too much. As you said, Matt, that opening round was tight. That round we've just seen was an Esserman round, you would say. The one before that, the fifth, there wasn't much in that one either. Ben Davison saying to Congo between rounds that he wants him to stay busy with that lead hand, keep using that jab, make Esserman get that guard up nice and high, occupying. And again, Esserman just coming forward here, bringing it to Congo, who almost timed him with the right hand as he was on the way in. But Esserman looking just to get lower, get underneath Congo. That's what he needs to do when they get onto the inside there. Drop that high, get underneath the taller man.
You've got to be careful in those clinches. I think Congo, you know, he is holding there, and they're coming together, but I think Congo's the one more guilty of clinching, and he's already been warned.
He's tucking his arms underneath Echoes, which kind of looks like Echoes holding, but it's like a little bit of a tactic to, you can see it right now where he's tucked his arms underneath.
The uppercut on the inside there from Esserman, and Congo's getting drawn into it at close range here, and this is what Esserman will want. We're into the second half of the fight. The formula here for Congo is to keep it long, Matt, isn't it? Snap that jab, throw that 1-2, look for that chopping right hand. But Esserman is bit by bit here. He's dragging him into an area that maybe he doesn't really want to be in.
Well, you know, he boxed really well first half of the fight, Congo. His feet are good, his distance is good. He's been nice and varied with the lead left hand work, you know, with that little half step back, timing him onto the right hands. But, you know, as fatigue kicks in and he gets a bit more tired and the legs aren't as quite sharp, is he going to be as effective with that half step back, chopping the right hand over, or is he going to be a little bit slower? And as Esserman's ploughing forward, will he get on top of him?
And he shouldered his man off there, Congo, just giving ground again there, Congo, chopping down with that right hand, didn't quite manage to land it through the right, and then came in a little bit low with the head. He's got to be careful here, Congo. Howard Foster's had a word about holding. He probably wouldn't have taken too kindly to the shoulder. It wasn't exactly a deliberate headbutt that I described there, but he followed in with that head behind that right hand. He's having to work hard here, Congo, to keep him off.
He is, yeah, and he's just walking him down, hands high. He's doing the right thing, jabbing to the body to make his hands come down, but he's getting caught up in... Oh, that was a great shot.
Well, then he got caught with a good shot there, Congo, but then kind of firing back in fairness, landed 2 good shots himself on the bell.
OK, let's go down to ringside. Who have you got, Andy?
Andy, thanks. I've got Cruz Leeming with me, Leeds Rhino captain. Great to welcome you here at ringside. How much are you enjoying this? The atmosphere is really starting to build now.
Yeah, it's massive. I didn't realise how big the shots were until you sat here ringside. The power and the shots that they're taking, these guys, I don't know how they're doing it, but it's fantastic to be so close to it. It's great.
We say the same thing about you rugby league players. The countdown to the Super League season is on. So, yes, you can enjoy yourself tonight, but I'm sure behind closed doors you guys are working hard.
Yeah, we're in pre-season at the minute, so we're working really hard, and yeah, we do have to train hard in pre-season because it's where they try and break us and try and make us better players. But yeah, we're enjoying it, and February the 16th against Warrington, and anybody that enjoys rugby will cross over to enjoy boxing because of the physicality. It's brilliant.
You're a big boxing fan. Who are you picking for this main event briefly?
I've got to go Eubank.
Thank you very much, and best of luck this season.
Cheers, thank you.
Just saw a decent right hand there from Congo from the previous round, and it's interesting when you hear from people who don't really go to boxing, who have maybe never been before. They always say that, but you don't really understand how heavy and hard and dangerous these punches are until you're up close and personal.
Don't realise that they're in the wet zone as well, when the spit firing out, when the big shot lands and the spit goes everywhere. You're in the splash zone, as we call it.
So into the 8th here, they're scheduled for 12. The British and Commonwealth titles on the line. Chris Congo, the challenger, he's in the white and red. Echo Esserman, the champion, now a pretty long reigning champion too. Won them against Chris Jenkins, 3 successful defences. He's in the predominantly black shorts, and this is going to get more and more interesting as we head down the stretch here into those later stages. And as I said before, Esserman has been scheduled for 12 in his previous 4. He's gone the distance in his last 2. Congo did 10 rounds against Michael McKinson, but hasn't previously been scheduled for 12, or therefore had to do the full 36 minutes.
Echo needs to get close, but he doesn't want to get close enough to let him hold, and he can't stay on the outside where he's just being at the end of jabs and backhands, and so he needs just to be a bit more smarter about coming in.
That was good from Congo. Esserman was trying to move in behind that double jab, but he got hold of Congo and just turned him on the ropes. Nice jab from Congo. Decent right hand, good right hand again there.
You know, whoever dictates the terms in a fight usually wins the fight. The pace it's fought at and the range it's fought at. And so far, Congo's had the better of that. He's the more of a say at what pace this fight's fought at and what range it's fought at. If he can keep this up, he's going to win the fight. I've got him ahead, not miles ahead. I think maybe a couple of rounds. But you know, Esserman has come back and had a bit of success. Now Congo's found another gear or got back to what he was doing, and it's working for him. I think as long as he can maintain this, keep it going, and doesn't get ragged as we go into the later rounds, you know, we could be seeing a new British champion.
I think you're right. There was definitely a lull in the last 2 rounds for Congo, but he's come back on his game. He's jabber. He's got Echo backed up off the jab. Every time he comes in, he's using his footwork. When he's backing him up to the ropes, he's ducking and slipping and rolling him around, and then Echo's ending up with his back on the ropes.
Maybe he felt he needed a response in that round we've just seen, and he provided one. Let's have a listen.
Your feet are controlling it, yeah? Your feet are. You've got to stop looking for that counter so much. Okay? He's feeling the pace. Keep dropping that downstairs. You just need to compose yourself a little bit. Keep right while I'm talking. You just need to compose yourself a little bit to recognise. There's that rhythm step. There's that step to left, probably going to jab in that moment like we've drilled, yeah? But Chris, the lead hand occupying that high guard, he's hitting to what's going to come behind him. Actually, hand against the high guard, feinting in between. You ain't got to load up your jab. When he's safe.
Second attempt, round 9.
Well, the music's so loud in between rounds that I think Congo was struggling to hear Ben Davison there, and they're just a couple of feet away from each other. But if I deciphered that correctly, really what Davison is asking for is
kept him at the end and didn't let him get tied up and get into them bent arm, and let him back him up on the ropes and tee off. So I think he frustrated him more than he's making Echo tired.
Again, Congo there just manages to turn off the ropes as Esserman was trying to pursue him, and then has an opportunity just to line up that right hand, but Esserman had the guard up.
You can see him now in the middle of the ring. Congo is comfortable. You know, if Echo backs off, that's fine, because as soon as he comes, he's going to hit him with a jab. He's going to keep it long, but he's staying in the middle. He's not even letting him get himself backed up in the ropes. Every time he comes close, he's just turning.
Nice left into the body there. From Congo, that was slightly better from Esserman just before that. Doubled up the jab through the right hand, it half got through, and this is more his kind of territory. Congo with his back to the ropes, Esserman just dips his head, puts it on the shoulder, and tries to land that right hand just short with the uppercut. Good right hand there from Esserman. Congo took it okay, but this isn't really where he wants to be, although his defences are pretty sound here, Congo. I think he fancies himself being able to catch Esserman with a counter off the ropes here.
Yeah, maybe he's just trying to... Oh, good shots.
Esserman having some success here. Congo's knees dipped a little bit. He was almost sitting on that bottom rope, and the Esserman corner just roaring him on. Barrington Brown, they know that this is an opportunity maybe. 30 seconds remaining in round 9. Long right hand again from Esserman. He had him pinned on the ropes. He was working away, and then he got through with 2-3 shots there, and you could just see the legs go a little bit, and he's got to try and capitalise on that.
Well, just when Esserman needed a big round, he's come out and found one. I mean, he was labouring really on the ropes there. Congo kind of looked like he was taking a breather, looking for the counters, but then it maybe switched off a little bit, but Esserman landed a big shot. Hurt Congo, and that's a massive confidence booster now for Esserman. That'll really spur him on.
Talk about commentators' curse. I was just praising him for everything that he was doing right, and keeping the centre of the ring, keeping him at the end of the jab, and then he gets stuck on the ropes and get caught with a big backhand over the top, and you're seeing his legs dipping instantly. It really hurt him, and Echo sent blood. So I think this round you'd like to see him come out and capitalise and close that space down and try and get them big shots off.
Yeah, I mean, that was psychologically, that's really spurred him on now. He was slipping behind on the card, needed a big round to try and turn things around, and we'll see now if the minute in between is given enough Congo to clear his head, but big round there for Esserman.
And you could just see the way that Esserman marched back to his corner at the end of the round. The confidence levels just went up considerably, and they want a big finish here, and he will know that he's got it in the tank. He's got that engine to provide it. He's been down the stretch before, and you're seeing this at home pretty much the way that Matt is. You've got Congo with that lead, and with Esserman needing a big finish, but there's every sign here maybe that he can supply one.
I can see Obed Congo as well in the crowd going absolutely mental, telling his brother just to box and to stay away.
Well, he's from a fighting family, Congo. Obed and Elvis, his two brothers, were good fighters. Obed, a very good amateur.
All you got to do is switch off for a split second, and then you get caught with a shot that you didn't see. So, it's crucial now that Congo and Esserman, both of them, from a concentration point of view, are bang on here. They can't afford any slip-ups. I mean, I think on my part, Esserman needs all these rounds now, and Congo certainly can't afford to give them away either, because it is close. It could be closer than we're seeing it, and the fight very much all to fight for here.
You can see he's just hunting him down. He's just walking straight down, trying to just get him to get his back on the ropes, but he's just leaning that little bit too far where he's squared on. He can't even get his own shots off properly.
Just over a minute remaining in round 10. Little feint there from Esserman. Congo with the double jab. The third one off the back of it got through. Tried to chop down with that right hand, didn't land it, and again he finds himself on the ropes. Esserman leaning in, thuds one into the body. We knew that he would be patient. He's got the experience, he knows his strengths. He wouldn't have been fazed about potentially being down at halfway. He'd have had that confidence that in the second half he would make his presence felt. 2 rounds remaining after this, 30 seconds to go in the 10th. Decent right hand from Esserman. Just before that, a left to the body from Congo. There's that long right again from Esserman.
We can see, you know, the sharpness and the accuracy that Congo had when he started in them earlier rounds. It's just swayed just a little bit, and Echo can now, you know, put the pressure on and he can manoeuvre his way around it.
Congo setting his feet and looking for the right hand into the body. Final few seconds of round 10 as Congo looks to launch a big overhand right. We've got 6 minutes to go here, and this is going to go down to the wire. You really do get that feeling. It is close. Esserman has got the wind in his sails.
Yeah, shoot that stick first. You know how to do it, do it. Then just walk into the post. All you do is just give him points. Yeah, that's not it. Fine. Yeah? Reach, get up. Wake up. You want the middle, fire. Bring out the middle, take the big back. Remember, you've got to be ready in between, okay? Shuffle it back. With the lead out, just like you do in the drill. What you're doing in the change room.
Quarter is 10 seconds.
Not these just stepping around.
Well, it's interesting from the two corners there. Ben Davison very relaxed, he always is. Barrington Brown, though, reading Echo Esserman a little bit of a riot act in there. I'm sure it's because they feel that he's absolutely got to go out and win these final 2 rounds, and possibly they thought that off the back of a really good 9th, he just didn't go after him in the 10th maybe as much as he could have done, but it was probably still an Esserman round.
Yeah, I think so. I gave him that round, but I still feel he needs these 2 rounds if he's going to retain his title, because I've still got Congo with his nose ahead. A good uppercut there from Congo off the ropes. Yeah, I mean, Esserman's really got to go for it. I think whether you've got him a round or 2 behind, he definitely, if he's going to win this fight, I think he needs both these rounds.
I think, and boxers are different. Some boxers need that G-up and, you know, need that motivation to go out and do it, and no one knows the boxer better than the coach. Some need calming down when they're a bit too hyper, so it's probably why you see the different styles.
Good right hand there from Esserman, and Congo just forced to give a little bit of ground. It sent a little bit of a shudder through him actually as it landed. Esserman will sense that. He's got Congo pinned on the ropes again here, which is exactly where Congo doesn't want to be. And the referee just having a chat there with Esserman about heads. That wasn't a great time for Howard Foster to intervene if you're Echo Esserman, because that was a solid shot, and I was just thinking to myself before he landed it that Congo had managed to stay off the ropes up until that point and just re-establish that distance a little bit, but he felt that one.
Yeah, lovely shot, timed him lovely, just looped that right hand, walked him onto it. Beautiful shot from Esserman. Good uppercut as well down the inside, and again another right hook on the ropes. Good work here from Esserman.
Good long right from Esserman. He just let his man go, gave himself a touch of space and threw it straight down the middle, and exactly the same again there. He gets up right close and tight and just tapping away to the body there, and then gives himself a little bit of room and throws it sharp down the middle. Nice uppercut there though from Congo, just dipping off to his right, trying to find something, some way to get himself off those ropes. But this is exactly where Esserman wants it.
Yeah, I mean, Congo's landed some nice, cute little shots here on the inside, but Esserman landing more of them.
He's given the referee an excuse to break it by the leaning and you know, the come entangled. When you've come entangled, the referee's within his right to say, you know, break, and then you're back to Congo's range. So he needs to, like, give himself that just a little bit of distance to be able to get his shots off without the leaning, without the coming entangled.
Final few seconds of the 11th round, just swapping punches there, these two. Congo leading off with the left hook, he missed. Esserman with a right hand, he missed as well. It's been fought at a decent tempo, this, and this is uncharted territory for Congo. He's never been into the 11th before. Well, there goes the bell. Just 1 round to go. A purposeful walk back to the corner there from Echo Esserman. Well, it's just such an interesting fight heading into the 12th and final round.
I've got it level. I've got it level going into this final round. Nothing in this now.
Yeah.
All on the last round for me.
I think a lot of the rounds have been close where it's been hard to score. Like, what do you like? And I remember an interview on one of the referees from the board, and you know, it's not just about shots landed, it's about who's imposing their game, who's imposing their will, you know, your ring craft. And so Echo's done that, but sometimes Congo's landed the better shot. So some of the rounds are really hard to score.
Yeah, I believe, you know, giving Esserman the last three to really kind of clawed it back.
Seconds out for the 12th and final round.
So into the 12th and final round, Howard Foster calls them to the centre for a touch of gloves, and well, this is what the British title is all about. It is always so fiercely contested. It means so much to fighters to get that Lord Lonsdale belt, and Esserman will not want to let it go. And on your scorecard at home, you've got it the same as Macklin, pretty much a point advantage there for Congo. There have been some tight rounds, as Tash has been saying. It's been maybe the kind of fight that people expected, that Congo would be up at halfway. Esserman would come into it in the second half, stalking, trying to hunt him down, and they've both just got to dig deep here as much as they can and produce everything that they've got. Good stiff left hand there from Esserman, and Congo was backed up to the ropes but got hold of Esserman and just managed to half turn him. Howard Foster then split the pair of them up.
Now you see Esserman catching Congo over with a backhand over the top as he's coming in, as he's leaning in, as he's trying to force.
Well, I think his momentum coming forward, and possibly the factor that Congo's legs are a bit tired now. He's not quite as quick with his feet, he's not sharp with the feet, pulling out half a step, he's just getting caught, and he's able to lean forward and come forward. Esserman, and momentum coming forward when he throws the right hand, it's carrying him through. Good jab.
Nice little feint there from Congo, and then through that jab he's still got that in his locker, deep into the fight to throw that feint and then snap the jab off the back of it. Esserman trying to push him back into the ropes, but Congo just found something there, got a bit of forward momentum, bit of strength, managed to push his way back up those ropes. Huge shot there from Esserman, and Congo is in big trouble here. That overhand right caught him, and Congo is unsteady. Esserman needs to press home the advantage here. Just over a minute remaining. Congo manages to get in and just tie him up for a few seconds, which is exactly what he needs to do. Esserman with a bit of a reckless right hand. Nice 1-2 there from Congo. Sets his feet and tries to keep Esserman off, but he's got him pinned back on those ropes again here. That was a huge right hand though.
This will be the longest minute, longer than the treadmill minute, longer than the microwave minute.
30 seconds now for Congo, who just backs up, gave himself room, throws that right hand. Esserman just trying to burrow his way in on the inside. I think he's feeling the pace himself here. Has he got it in him for one big salvo? Nice shot there though from Congo. Dug those toes in and whipped that left hand up from low. He looked like he was in trouble when that right landed. The legs just went a little bit, but in the 12th round he's managed to recover well, which tells you everything about the conditioning, and these two have put absolutely everything they've got into this. Esserman with a big right hand at the end, a touch of gloves and an embrace. No real celebrations from either corner. I think they know it's closer. A little smile between Ben Davison and Barrington Brown, and Howard Foster goes round the edge of the ring and picks up those score slips from Phil Edwards, Michael Alexander and Victor Lachlan. Esserman raising his gloves, a little bit of blood just coming from the corner of the eye, but Congo is doing exactly the same thing on the other side of the ring, and they are in for a tense fight.
This is going to be tight. I mean, this could definitely happen again. It's very close fight. I'd love to see it again. I think whoever loses here is going to feel hard done by. You could tell by the body language there, they both feel they won it. Even the viewers' scorecard having a draw. I've got Esserman by a round, 115, 114.
Well, here's that big right hand, deep into the 12th and final round, knocks him back onto the ropes, and he looked like he was in trouble there, Congo. Followed up with a right to the body, but he managed to recover from it, just dips that head, throws it over the top.
not only did he recover from it, he was throwing great 1-2s himself when he was getting backed up. You can see it here. He comes back and...
You know, I gave Esserman the last 4 rounds. I thought, you know, Congo won the first third. I thought Esserman won the last third, so it's how you scored some of those close rounds in the middle which will determine, you know, who you give the fight to.
It's a difficult one to call. Judges at ringside are looking for effective aggression. You're looking on who lands what effect it has. But when you're on different sides of the ring, you can see different things. People don't like to hear that, but it's just a fact. We're sat on the one side here, but a couple of the judges didn't have the same view as us, and this is one of those decisions where, whichever way this goes, I wouldn't argue whether it goes Congo, whether it goes Esserman, whether we've got a draw, Robert Smith and Charlie Giles having a chat down there. They need to make sure that they have those scores up correctly, and when they put that piece of paper in Big Mo's hand, he knows exactly what he's got in front of him, and he's got that piece of paper now. Howard Foster calling these two to the middle of the ring, and we're about to find out which way this is going to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for these two warriors this evening. After 12 full championship rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Judge Edwards scores about 114 to 114. Judge Michael Alexander scores at 116 to 113, and Judge Victor Laughlin scores at 115 to 114, declaring your winner by majority decision, and still the British Commonwealth welterweight champion, Echo the Engine Essuman.
And you can see what that means to Echo Essuman to hang on to that title. Majority decision, a draw with Phil Edwards, but it was in his favour with Michael Alexander and Victor Laughlin. It was a terrific fight, so very, very close, and we will hear from the pair of them maybe after the break.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltero.
Enjoy the same feeling whatever the trip. Premier Inn. Rest easy. Only available to book at premierinn.com.
So welcome back to the Manchester Arena. Coming up on Sky Atlantic, available now, The Last of Us. The first episode is up. It's a post-apocalyptic drama. I watched the first episode. The second one is out, I think, in the early hours of Tuesday morning, and I'm waiting for it myself because I very much enjoyed the first instalment. Glove raised there for Echo Esserman. It was tight, it was close, it was a fight to an extent of two halves, and here is the winner. He's down ringside with Andy.
Echo, huge congratulations, and still, what was the difference in there? What got you over the line in a razor-tight fight?
You know what? As I said from the start, it was just the experience of having those other fights, those other 12-rounders, those other really hard fights where I had to dig in deep, where I had to go certain places and just come back from it. And that's what I mean, it helps. The proof's in the pudding. As you come up through the ranks, people can look down on you. You just got to keep beating who's in front of you, even when the stats, when the odds are against you. You just got to keep pushing. Boxing's about what you can do when you're tired, not about what you can do when you're fit. And my name's The Engine.
Huge congratulations and well done.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on, Boxer. Everyone's been very welcoming, and just a huge thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you and well done.
Indeed, congratulations to Eko Esseman. He is unbeaten in 19 now, Johnny. A really good performance from Eko Esseman. Chris Conger, a good start from him, but Esseman, he just seemed to sort of come into it, didn't it?
He's got that nickname for a reason. His fitness, his engine, his persistence will break most fighters' hearts. Congo went out there with a game plan, started well, but he had to be consistent with it. Esseman, the finesse might not be there, but he has that brute force and self-belief and that ruggedness. There's no rhythm to his work, so it's hard to figure out what you've got in front of you. And Congo had to learn that lesson. First time he's done 12 rounds. But Esseman, he's a championship fighter at this level. That's who he is. I asked him, what do you want to do next? He says, I just want to play in this pool. I know the European title's tied up, so I'll stay here.
So essentially, it's a bit like he's got to tread some water really for a bit.
He's treading water, taking on all challenges. He's a British and Commonwealth champion, so he'll always make a living. There'll always be somebody there. If they want to do anything, they've got to get past him legitimately. So he knows he's in a great position until the opportunity comes for European title shot.
How will Chris Congo be feeling? I mean, he looked pretty disappointed there. It looked like he thought he'd won the fight in there. But again, he will learn a lot from that. Hadn't been beyond 10, as you just said.
There's a lot of bragging rights there between the two of them. He'll be absolutely gutted, and I'm quite sure he thinks he won that fight. He did. Chris Congo's a good fighter. Chris Congo, you know, he fell short. He lost to the better man tonight. That had his game planning in tow. So he's just got to go back to the drawing board and think, right, I've got to try and find another way to get through all round. Esseman.
All right, okay. Right, coming up next. It is our chief support and a dangerous assignment for the inspirational Richard Riatbor, who takes on Krzysztof Lewandowski, who has only lost to the very best. That fight is coming up next.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltero.
The Vodafone Big Winter Sale is now on. Get unlimited 5G data on our unlimited SIM-only plan for only £25 a month. Just one of the amazing deals in the Vodafone Big Winter Sale. Go online or in store today. Ends January 26th.
I know you've been waiting for your ride home, but you're going to have to wait a while longer.
Keep punching holes in the earth, eventually it's going to punch back.
There's no radios, no phones. What is going on?
Since the fog came in, some of our crew have had psychological difficulty.
Nature isn't a balance, it's a war. I'm telling you, it's trying to warn us.
I love this car. But what if it gets pranked? By an unpredictable, unfriendly, uninsured driver? Can I actually do this? Oh, yes. I can do this.
What's that, love?
Said, let's do this.
Enjoy the leap with Churchill.
Enjoy the same feeling, whatever the trip. Premier Inn. Rest easy. Only available to book at premierin.com.
January ain't about the Blues. It's about the NFL playoffs. It's about high pressure. Anything can happen. Knockout football. Face up to nature's fury. Fight for every inch. Win.
Oh my goodness!
Or go home.
Ain't no reason to be scared now. That's the fun part.
The NFL playoffs this January, live on Sky Sports.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltero.
Welcome back. Well, with all the fights going long, we don't have too much time to talk, so we are going to move straight on with the action and to our Chiefs Award. It is Richard Riakporhe up against Krzysztof Kowalski. Let's get to it then and hand you over to MC Big Mo.
Manchester, are you ready for the co-main event evening? This bout is scheduled for 12 3-minute rounds in the Cruiserweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. Please welcome to the ring, Krzysztof Kowalski.
Mid-30s now, Krzysztof Kowalski, but quite simply, he has walked a walk that Richard Riakporhe has never walked. He's a two-time champion of the world, and although he's had 3 defeats, they've come against the likes of Alexander Usyk, Mairis Briedis, and Lawrence Okolie. I do slightly wonder about his more recent experiences since that defeat to Briedis. That's 3.5 years ago. He's had just the 2 fights, 10 rounds, and one of them was that stoppage defeat against Okolie. But he has pedigree, and he's shown it this week. He's been very relaxed, very much at home on this stage. Richard Riakporhe, there is an awful lot on the line here.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, introducing Richard Riakporhe.
Riakporhe, undefeated in his career so far. He's eyeing up the world title shot. Joining us on commentary, Chris Phillips-Smith, the former opponent of Richard. And Chris, you know what this is like. You had this before Christmas in with Ahmed Joshua. You knew that if you lost, that world title shot would go up in smoke, and that's exactly the position he's in.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's up against it here tonight in terms of his recent opponent. Krzysztof Kowalski is obviously a former world champion, so he's got to perform and he's got to do the job to get that shot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your co-main event of the evening, scheduled for 12 3-minute rounds in the Cruiserweight division. Our steward in charge of this contest, Robin Smith. Our timekeeper, Chris O'Connor. And our judges at ringside, Phil Edwards, Michael Alexander, and Victor Laughlin. And our referee in charge when the bell rings, Mr. Howard Foster. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with green trim, he stands 6 feet tall. He weighed in at 14 stone, 1 pound, 5 ounces. He holds a professional record of 32 victories versus 3 defeats, with 20 of those wins coming by way of knockout. And he fights out of Falls, Poland, introducing the former 2-time WBO Cruiserweight Champion, Krzysztof Kowalski. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with red and blue trim. He stands 6 feet 5 inches tall. He weighed in at 14 stone, 3 pounds, 5 ounces. He comes to us with an undefeated record of 15 victories with no defeats and 11 of those wins coming by way of knockout. And he fights out of Walworth, England, introducing the former British and WBA Intercontinental Cruiserweight Champion. He is known as the Midnight Train, Richard
Fellas, spoke you both in the dressing room. You know I expect to keep it clean break straight away when told. Both of you watch your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch gloves. Good luck.
Howard Foster, the referee for this one, and that's the scene at the Manchester Arena. This place just bubbling up all the time. Richard Riakporhe in that red corner, in the black shorts with the Crystal Palace colours, blue and red. Blavatsky in the black and green in that southpaw stance. He's had a few southpaws recently. Riakporhe and Dion Juma, Fabio Turki, a couple of the world champions of southpaws, Ilunga Makabu, Jai Opataya. I don't think it's necessarily a coincidence that Blavatsky got the job. I do think, though, that this is really, Matt, the perfect piece of matchmaking. He's got to be on his game here to win this fight, Riakporhe. I outlined what has happened to Blavatsky recently, but he's got that pedigree, he's got that experience, and he won't be fazed by this.
No, and as you mentioned there, you know, the fight with Dion Juma and even his last fight with Turkey, he's had, this is almost like his dress rehearsal now before he gets that world title shot.
Riakporhe looking to try and land that jab, that'll be key. Blavatsky's not a big cruiserweight, he's got to get up close, he's got to slip that jab, he's got to bob weave, get on the inside and try and do his work there. Reaches for the long left hand, and Chris Lawrence Okoli, to be honest, provided the perfect template, I thought, of how you deal with someone like Blavatsky, because he maintained that distance, something that he struggled to do often in his career. Was nice and patient, and then as Blavatsky was trying to come in himself, he kind of just walked him onto that low right hand and knocked him out.
Yeah, you can see that Richard's trying that now. He's walking to his right, walking off to his right, you know, and because he's the taller man, he can do that. He can take the space to the right, and he's walked him onto a few right hands already, and also a few body shots as well.
Well, we've seen him do damage with body shots in recent times, something that he's added to his repertoire. We know about that big right hand. The key with Riakporhe is he needs to stay nice and loose. Or you get tight, you get tense. It's easy to see that shot coming and the power just evaporates out of it. Blavatsky was caught with a right there as he looked to try and step in with Riakporhe in the corner.
Yeah, Riakporhe's just taking those little steps to his right, just little steps, trying to walk Blavatsky onto that right hand. I mean, if you want to watch how to box a southpaw, watch Bernard Hopkins, you know, just always brilliant, moving to his right, walking him onto that right hand.
Into the final 30 seconds of round one. We're scheduled for 12. Blavatsky just letting his hands go, but Riakporhe backed up to the ropes and tucked up nicely.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltero.
the bills, and as Chris said, he did manage to land it a couple of times in that opening round. And as we were saying, Chris, the key with someone like Riakporhe is that he's got to stay nice and loose and shoot it straight. If he can do that, then the power on it, well, we've seen the power on it. If it gets tense and tight, then it's not nearly as effective.
Yeah, absolutely. And Glowacki's trying to keep him mentally engaged here. You can see with these little shots where he's just cuffing his hand away, he's trying to keep him mentally engaged and switch him off. You know, and then he's obviously looking to land that big left hand of his.
Little feint with the front foot there from Glowacki. Dips those knees every now and again, just tries to drop that height. Make sure that head isn't a static target. Right hand there from Riakporhe, but just reached for it a little bit.
Yeah, the distance is key, but you know, you don't want to overreach with that shot. He's got to wait, he's got to be patient, he's got to use that left hand just to keep touching, keep pouring with it a little bit, feinting, and just try and time Glowacki as he makes his move to win, because Glowacki's got to close the distance. He's the one who has to take the chance, and Riakporhe's just got to try and read him and time him when that does, and walk him onto the right hand.
Good jab there from Richard.
Midway through round two. Just creeping in with that front foot. Glowacki looking to get closer. Good shot. Glowacki is in huge trouble here. You can see the knees just go a little bit there.
Richard's got to be careful here. Glowacki is dangerous when he's hurt. But
big right hand again there from Riakporhe, and you can see Glowacki give a little bit of ground. There's a minute remaining in the round here. He's got plenty of time just to find that right hand again. Glowacki, to be fair to him, looks like he's got those legs back underneath him okay, but the first shot, Matt, got a big reaction. The second one, half blocked, but still did some damage.
Yeah, legs buckled there. Good shot from Riakporhe. Just, I think the moment's probably gone now, though, so just needs to settle down, you know, and start again. Just keep, you know, jab, pop that jab out, use your feints, and try and land that right hand again.
That shot did take a lot out of Glowacki, though. You can see he's a little bit slower, a little bit less sharp, a little bit more methodical.
Glowacki looking for that straight left hand, and that'll be encouraging for Riakporhe. He knows that he possesses the power to hurt pretty much anybody, but he also knows that he's never been in with somebody like Glowacki who's achieved what he has achieved. It was a while ago now, but he took some rounds off Usyk when he lost that WBO title to him a few years ago. A 9-0 Alexander Usyk, and Glowacki just complaining about the heads coming together at the end of the round there, but that was a good round for Richard Riakporhe.
Yeah, just nailed him with the right hand. Glowacki came in with the left, fell short, just laid back, and then shot the short right hand. You know, with Riakporhe, he never needs to load up. He can do damage. That was a short right hand, just popped it out. Legs stiffened, backed off, he went for it then. But, you know, Glowacki is experienced. He knew how to survive the moment. And the experience of Riakporhe was he knew then, okay, let's ease off and let's start again. And the moment had gone then.
He dips down here, and his glove might just have touched down there. If it did, then it just kissed the canvas for the merest split second. So I can completely understand why Howard Foster wouldn't have called that, because there's no way that he could have been sure. But if that follow-up had landed, Chris, then I think that would have been it. But as we saw there, Glowacki had enough about him just to dip at the waist and slide underneath it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's really dangerous when he's hurt. He is vulnerable, of course, as we've seen there. But if that shot had landed, it would have been absolutely night over for him.
Yeah, Glowacki here now looking for that straight left into the solar plexus.
Lead left hook there from Riakporhe. He doesn't need to do anything crazy here. He just needs to keep doing what he's been doing. Angel Fernandez at the end of the first round was saying to him, just maintain the distance, use that jab to set up the right hand. When you've got the height and the reach that he has, you've got to utilise it. And fighting that big man fight, it is more than for other fighters about those absolute fundamentals, Chris. Use that reach, use that jab, set up the right hand. You don't have to overcomplicate anything.
No, absolutely, and that's what Rich is doing. It's exactly what Lawrence said. He's walking to his right, he's keeping it long, and he's walking him onto a few right hands. And I think he's going to find that shot all night, that right hand.
I think what you see a lot with southpaws and orthodox is that the lead hands cancel each other out a little bit, and it becomes a battle of the backhands. But that doesn't mean you don't use your lead hand, because you can feint with it, you can fiddle around with it, and then maybe stick a jab out. But really, quite often it becomes a battle of the backhands. We've seen Riakporhe in the past, be effective not just with the straight right hand to the head, but the right hand to the body. The one when he got the knockout over Juma, beautifully timed shot. Again, goes for it there.
There it is. He's become a really good body puncher recently, Richard, and you can see he's really using it a lot here in this fight, and it's working.
Glavatsky managed to get close there, tried to climb into a lead right hand. There's that right again from Riakporhe, just throws it. Landed. Glavatsky was pulling back, so took most of the heat off it. Final 30 seconds of round 3, and this has been good, measured, confident stuff from Riakporhe so far. Good right hand there from Riakporhe. And Glavatsky, I think, again, just managed to ride it. Little smile on the Pole's face. He's taken that right hand, he managed to recover. Maybe that's given him some kind of encouragement. Let's go backstage and hear from Liam Smith.
Liam, well, what a week it's been, the build-up to this fight. We're here now, fight night. How are you feeling right now?
Good. Excited, the way I should be in the dressing room before a huge fight.
And when you get to the entrance of the arena, you stood there, it's about to be the ring walk. What will you be thinking about?
To be, I'll milk it, I'll embrace it all. I think a lot of these fans are going to be here for me today, so on top of the bill on Sky pay-per-view, sold out AO Arena, I'll milk that.
Brilliant, good luck for tonight, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, mate, thank you.
Kyle Walker asking the questions there, and he's nice and composed there, Smith, as you would expect, but it's interesting just seeing them over the course of the last couple of hours. All fighters on any fight like that, smiles on the way in if they're experienced, and then bit by bit by bit, you just see them getting a touch more tense, and definitely there you can see that the fight is nearly here for him.
Yeah, it's building up, isn't it? So the butterflies, the adrenaline, your preparation, you go through the hand wraps, then you get gloved up, you start hitting the ball. And as you're doing it, you know it's getting nearer the moment of truth. Is upon us almost. So yeah, you can see the tension. You can feel it, can't you, in the changing rooms?
You absolutely can. Into the fourth here. Riakporhe leading off with the left there, just knocking a bit of sweat off the shaven head of Glavatsky. He gave him a little smile towards the end of the third round, and it could be interesting, Chris. Somebody lands something big early in a fight and they look like they might be on the brink, but then the other fighter manages to get through it, and bizarrely that can give them some real confidence.
Yeah, for sure, and I think you can see that at the start of this round, Glavatsky's come out really quick, but Richard is, he's staying disciplined, and I think that's the right thing to do.
It's that right hand go again, and just reached for that one a little bit. He does have to be careful with that. He doesn't want to chase it in, fall in and leave himself open. That's exactly what Glavatsky will want him to do. Make sure those feet are underneath him when he throws that right. Glavatsky just again flexing those knees, trying to take the height down, find his range, get inside that jab.
I think what Riakporhe might be trying to do is trying to time Glavatsky when he throws that left hand to the body. When he pulls back out, that's when Riakporhe can catch him as he's pulling out if as long as he doesn't load up, he just fires and straight right hand out, he can catch Glowacki on the way out.
Decent short right hand on the inside there from Riakporhe. Glowacki stooping into that left himself and then looked to try and follow it in onto the shoulder.
Both of them throwing some good body shots there as well. I think the body shots will be key for Richard. I think they'll help slow Glowacki down, and then eventually he'll get the knockout.
One right there from Riakporhe, and that just caused Glowacki to give a little bit of ground. Left to the body, then a right upstairs. Glowacki in trouble here. Hal Foster having a close look, but he looked defenceless for a second. The referee's about to jump in any second now to save the pole, and that is a good stoppage. You're absolutely right, Chris, because he landed that right hand there, Riakporhe, and Glowacki was in all sorts of trouble. He'd half turned away, and you just wondered what might happen if the next one had landed absolutely clean. But the referee was on top of the situation there, Howard Foster, and that
Get rid of this whole bottom four.
Some booze for you, Banksman, hero, villain. It is all the same to him.
It's not a fluke, it's been tried. I'm the truth, let's turn out.
Everybody, those two, though.
Our official partners, Creed 3, Everlast, Village Hotels, Wow Hydrate, and MCI Markets. Overseeing this contest is our steward in charge, Robert Smith, our timekeeper, Andrew East, and our judges at ringside, Phil Edwards, Michael Alexander, Howard Foster, and our referee in charge when the bell rings, Victor Laughlin. So, Manchester, I need you all to get up out of your seats. Raise your drinks high and get wild! Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with pink trim. He stands 5 feet 9 and 1/2 inches tall. He weighed in at 11 stone, 5 pounds. He holds a professional record of 32 victories versus 3 losses, with 19 of those wins coming by way of knockout. And he fights out of Liverpool, England. Introducing the former British Commonwealth and WBO World Champion, is Liam and his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with red trim. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. He weighed in at 11 stone, 5 pounds. He holds a professional record of 32 victories versus 2 defeats, with 23 wins coming by way of knockout. And he fights out of Brighton, England. Introducing the former British IBO and WBA champion, is Chris Eubank Jr.
There goes the opening bell. Eubank in that white and red, Smith in the black. Quite upright at times. Smith will look to box out of a little bit more. As he can. Eubank just looking to try and get on the jab early on. Smith just feinting with that front foot, trying to draw the jab from Eubank. Eubank falling just slightly short with it. Smith stooping, looking to try and grab a right hand into the body, and then a little bit of a wrestle between the two. People have talked a lot about size during the week. Eubank has been up at super middle. This is at middleweight. Smith has had a few fights where he's weighed in at 159, but he's only really recently officially stepped up. They looked good on the scales yesterday, the pair of them. Can Eubank impose that physicality? That is a major question in this fight.
Eubank trying to establish his jab here early on, and Liam Smith just trying to time him. Good right hand there from Smith, timed it well.
That was a quality shot. Drew something, and then managed to fire back with that right hand. Smith on the inside there, just looking to try and pump away to the body, George.
Yeah, Eubank started sharp with his jab, but he's having to use in and out movement with his feet, which is of course not energy efficient. So he doesn't really want to be doing that a lot in it at the moment. Andy, both guys are trying to settle in and find their rhythm.
It's the final minute of round one. Eubank is looking for that big right uppercut. That's a shot that people have picked out. Smith letting go with that right hand and looking to get after Eubank a little bit there. That got the crowd going on the far side of the ring, but nothing particularly clean or solid landed there from Smith.
Eubank pulling out high after his jab, which is a risky move.
Yeah, defence is a little bit leaky here from Eubank, and Smith been able to capitalise with a couple of right hands over the top.
Smith just dipping that head to the left-hand side. That's why he'll generally tend to go when he wants to pull that head off the punching line. He loves that left hand to the body. Eubank just taking a little walk away to his right, then coming forward. Smith just quick with those feet, backs himself up. Bell goes at the end of the opening round. As you were saying, George, with a minute to go, there wasn't a great deal in that one.
No, I gave the round to Smith. I thought he just a little bit busier, and he looked like he landed one or two of the shots that were more showy than Eubank's. Right there at the end, he caught Eubank with a right hand over the top. They ended up clinching after. Not an awful lot in it, Andy, but I gave that a shot. I think Smith shaded that first round.
Yeah, I agree.
Smith came straight back with a left. Already more purpose about Eubank in this second.
Yeah, he started this second round sharper, put a bit more meat on the jab, and then he's varied that right hand. He's thrown it out straight, and he's thrown it as a right hook. Both landing, didn't have an effect, but he's starting to find his range. Smith looking for that right hand.
Yeah, Eubank with the left hand low is a little bit leaky defensively down that left side, and Eubank's finding a home for the right hand. Either just lead straight right hands. They're landing, they're getting through.
Smith again. Sat looping overhand right, thrown in a kind of shallow arc that he's looking for, then tries to find the uppercut. Eubank, though, just moving up to his right hand side, managed to avoid it just before that, off the back of his own jab. Eubank could look for a couple of quite extravagant shots. The right hand followed by a big uppercut. There's plenty of intent in there, not a huge amount landing clean. Just yet, Eubank just dipping those knees, looking for the jab to the body. Feints with that front foot there, Eubank.
Yeah, Smith is back him up with a lot of head movement. It's clever stuff. He's trying to get a reaction out of Eubank for him to counter off of it. He got a nice sort of... He slipped out to his left and threw the right hand over the top, landed. Not a lot of power on it, but it's just showing that he's finding that range.
Yeah, this is good stuff from Smith. Nice patient stalking, triggering Eubank.
Again, he's looked for that right hook there, Eubank. One of those two half landed. Smith though protecting himself well, taking that head off the line. Left hand into the body up close there from Liam Smith, closing stages of round two. Little shoulder roll from Eubank there as he